What's up, everybody? Welcome to Boss to Boss. It's another episode here. R&R, rants and recaps. Let's get it. Oh, oh man. What a great day. Great time to be alive. Today's just like a podcast-filled day. I had two big interviews recording this episode here, and then we actually have another live episode tonight. Well, clearly I can't promote it because it already happened. So this episode released after. But yeah, we got a live episode tonight. So it should be like our prior episode before this one, if everything is in the right order. You probably might have heard it. Steve and I, if things worked out. It was our first ever trial at like a live episode. Well, technically we tried the one with Travis Chappell, which the live whole fixture thing is still in the works. We haven't perfected live episodes yet, but it's a matter of time. It's a matter of time before they're perfect, just the way you want them and just the way you need them. Because it is about you. It's not about me. It's not about Steve. Not about Boss to Boss. It's about you. Sorry about that. Still battling this throat thing. I told you a week ago, my last episode that was out, the rant last week, and I'm still battling this damn throat thing. And if you're in Chicago, I feel like half the people here are battling a throat thing. So I don't know what's going on. I hope it's not like Armageddon or the end of the world because of this throat disease. No, it's not a throat disease. I guess it's like a throat, I don't know, bug. I guess that's what you can call it. But yeah, back to what I was trying to say until someone distracted me. I have like an evil twin that just distracts me. It's that voice in my head, which I guess that's a good transition. The voice in your head. How many voices do you have in your head? When did you first start to realize you had a voice in your head? Was there a moment in time? Were you 10? Were you 15? Were you 30? Were you 60? Or when did you awake? When did you have that moment in your life that you are just like, whoa, what's going on? Who is this? Why are you talking to me? Get the hell out of here. Get out of my head. I don't want to hear any of this nonsense from you. I don't want to hear this negativity, this positivity, this weird emotion that's going on inside of my head. I don't want to hear it. Yeah, I guess I haven't really, I don't know if I talked about this. Maybe I did like back in the day, my old podcast. I want to say Love the Journey. I brought it up, but it's just something that, I like to flow with it. I like to go with it. And that's what popped up into my head right now. And the voice in your head. And it's something that I guess based on some of the interviews I did today, we're talking about childhood and how some people like to enjoy their childhood and kind of just be, nowadays the American way, be on their iPads, their iPhones, and just constantly on the internet and, chatting with people online, playing video games, or the older style, not the older, but the more traditional, that you actually communicate with people head on, face to face. You actually do things, you work for it. You work more, during those ages when you, I guess, instead of enjoying them. So it's like, weighing the risks and the pros and cons of working while being at a younger age. But I guess that kind of comes with the thing of awakening. Like, when was that moment when the voice started talking to your head and it started making you realize what's happening, what's real, what's not? And some people have it a lot earlier than others. Like someone that I interviewed named Caleb Maddox. He had that voice since, I don't know, 7-10 years old, and it told him, you have a mission, and your mission is to spread the word to all types of, people your age, that they can make things happen from a very early point on. Or you have someone like me, where I awoke probably later in high school or something. I don't know. I feel like grade school was one of those things that just kind of went by and breezed, and I had never really stopped and took a look and really felt what grade school was like. It wasn't until high school that things started happening, changes started happening, moments in my life started occurring that I had to start questioning things and making tougher decisions. That's kind of when I realized, like, oh, there's work, there's things to do. This makes sense. You work, you make money, and you can later pay off your bills, or go on vacation. It wasn't probably until later. Some have it earlier, some have it happen earlier, some have it happen later. It kind of just depends on who you're raised. I think a lot has to do with how traditional you are. If you're raised in a very, have whatever you want kind of household, then it's going to take you a while longer to awaken, because you're going to be stuck in the world of, phones and video games and not real things, and having to work for it and make something of yourself. So you're not like, you're more numbed, I guess, by society. Whereas opposed to being raised in a household where you have to fend for yourself. You have to make things for yourself. You have to help out. You have chores to do. You have to start working some side stuff to learn what it's like to hustle and make money, and actually, not just spend it, but what it actually means to make that money. And I think that's a very, very important topic. I just, nowadays I'm not there yet, but I will be eventually. And when I have, a young one of my own, or 2 or 8 or 15, I don't know. Who knows? Nobody knows. I'm definitely, I'm going to have to decide if I'm going to have to show them, give them everything give them everything on a golden platter and hope that they come out as a decent human being. Or do I teach them early on what it means to earn something and to have something and have respect for things. Not to say that one way is better or the other. Everybody, at the end of the day, you have your own opinion. Your opinion's best. I'm just trying to awaken you right now and making you think about the different times in your life that you might have awakened, whether it was at an earlier age or at a later age. And then if you have regrets for waking up earlier, what that means is realizing there's a voice in your head, there's a purpose, there's a meaning behind life and behind everything you do. And that's kind of what I'm trying to get at. Because some people have no choice and they're thrown into it right away. Someone I just interviewed that was raised in communist Romania, he had no choice but to wake up real quick and real early, as there were crazy situations and things happening, and he had to fend for himself right away. I had the luxury of, not necessarily, I guess, living through my early ages, not having too many things to kind of have to do. And yes, times were hard and there were struggles, and, I had to, we were poor. And, I didn't grow up with my parents. I grew up with my grandma the first 5 years of my life, and certain situations and things I had to go through just coming to America in itself. But, I don't know. What do I regret not being awakened earlier in life? That's a tough question. That's tough, because when you awaken earlier and you start realizing that voice in your head, you start realizing that you have to do things, make a living, it makes you start experiencing pressures, anxiety, different things early on. Whereas when I think about those moments in my early years, the grade school days, for example, I don't think of too many emotions. It was more just kind of like, oh, I did that. I enjoyed the different video games and cards I traded and video games I played, and, thinking girls are cute, but not actually going after them at that age. And it was nice. I guess it was nice, but maybe it wasn't as meaningful as it could have been. That's one way to look at it. But at the same time, it gave me those early days, you're not going to be like, oh man, like, they always say there's nothing like being a child. It only gets harder and harder. So I think that's a very hot topic. It's a topic for debate, as there's parents and people out there that make their kids now kind of wake up early on. Otherwise, I mean, obviously there are circumstances that make you wake up if you're, raised in a communist country and there's war and things going on and scares. But parents choose whether or not to kind of, let kids just do what they want and whatever, or they choose the route of making them read books right away, making them work right away, earn things, do chores. And it kind of, it makes you kind of realize adulthood and other things early on. So it could be a good and a bad thing. I think it's a very topic that's up for debate, and it's just sort of my rant for today. I was thinking about that. It was brought up in my past few interviews, And I just thought about my childhood and whether or not, I started realizing things too early, too soon. And I don't know. I don't know if there's a right answer. I sort of think the way it happened. It's good. It would be hard to imagine. I guess it would have been nice. If I had a head start in life, it would have been nice. I could have maybe been even further than I am. But would it have cost me some sanity and some of my years of my life due to gaining pressure and stress early on? Who knows? Maybe I'm better off for it. And I'd like to think that it happened for a reason, how it's supposed to be. Boss to boss. Hope you're liking the shirts. But yeah, that was my quick little rant, my rant and recap. I wanted to catch you guys up. I'm still kind of getting over the whole engagement thing. I'm still over here crushing it with hodgepodge, ups and downs every day. We're officially got our warehouse. I don't know if I really mentioned it yet, but we had to move out of our previous office. We're in the process of doing it. We outgrew our office, our original first ever office. Well, I guess after the one that started out of the basement of my business partner's house. I guess that was technically our office for the first half a year. But now we're actually moving into a big warehouse with a retail shop in the front, and we're going to be storing some items there and bringing in, things from our trucks in and out every day. It's going to be our first real official huge, bigger hub. And it's super exciting. Rent's going to be a lot, so we got to make sure we're doing good so we can pay it off. But it's exciting. It's a big step. It'll be nice to finally have this one central location where it's not just a smaller office. It's not our storage units here, our other little mini drop-off area here. It's going to be strictly in one spot, and it's going to be nice. I'm super excited. I can't wait. We're getting cameras installed right now. We're getting internet there. We just got electricity. We already started moving some stuff over. It's exciting stuff. Hodgepodge is growing, and it's an exciting time. At the same time, it's a lot of pressure because now we have an extra few thousand of dollars easily per month to pay in rent because we decided not to build out a warehouse. That whole idea I mentioned earlier with the property and land we bought in Crete. We're going to strictly do storages over there, just storage units. It's just, it made sense, kind of where we're at in the economy. There's so many good properties out there that need to be rented out because people can't find enough tenants for them, that it made way more sense for us to have the flexibility and rent something than to invest millions of dollars into a warehouse that we're not sure would ever pay itself off. And it's an interesting time in the economy, that's for sure. It's a lot of not sure what's going to happen. People are still selling, people are still buying, but it's been that crazy long 10-year run where it's is this sustainable? So it's an exciting time. It's a good time to be alive, and I'm happy to be a part of it. I hope you are too. And I'm the most grateful for all of you just being here, listening, tuning into another episode here of Boss to Boss. And I hope you enjoyed my little spiel, my little rant about awakening and opening yourself up. I know that's not too usual what I normally do, but it was just something that was on my mind, on my thoughts, and I wanted to get it out because it's an important topic. And what age in your life, either 5 years old, 10, 15, 20 years old, you got that aha moment, life is real, it's here, it's happening, and you just fell down in your ass because you got your ass beat. Well, I love you all. Thanks for tuning in. I hope you crush, and I know you will. I know you will crush the rest of your week. We'll be talking again soon. Peace.
That is all for this episode of Boss to Boss. Your next step is to visit bosstoboss.com, where you will find proven techniques followed by professionals to help you make that next step. Again, that is boss2boss.com. And remember, the time is now.